What's your name?
David McFarland.
And what do you do?
I am a validation test engineer.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what that means is I take this wonderful vehicle
Yeah.
out into the real world and try to test the crap out of our devices and make sure that they work. And if they don't, then get in contact with the engineers and see what we can do about fixing them.
So how many miles do you put on a year?
Oh goodness, before COVID, I actually put on quite a bit. I was doing loops and trips of about 4,000 miles a loop, and that'd be about in a week. And I could do that once or twice every couple of months. Since COVID, we do a lot more local driving, so it's a lot shorter trips, but still has its benefits. But on average, I'm probably still doing about, 4,000 or 5,000 a month, give or take the month, sometimes more, sometimes less, but still plenty.
Yeah, 50, 60,000
Oh yeah,
miles a
and then
year.
with the amount of devices we have in here, that translates into hundreds of thousands of miles of testing through all the individual devices.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the panel you have in the back there.
Exactly.
You have one of everything at least.
Exactly.
What would you say is the most unexpected plus of doing what you do?
I would say the travel, getting to be able to get out and see parts of the country that I haven't been able to have the opportunity to, and in doing so, that helps us find areas that the engineers may have not thought was going to be an issue. Seeing different cellular networks, different, parts of the country where the geography can change how a device works. So being able to get out there into the real world and me being able to see parts of the country that wouldn't normally be able to see is fun for me. Mm-hmm. Plus it's also beneficial for the engineers. They encounter problems that they wouldn't be able to see behind their desk or behind their screen. It allows us to get more real world information to make the devices more robust.
What's the coolest place in the U.S. that you had no idea was that cool?
Oh goodness, coolest place in the U.S. I did a drive down the Columbia River Gorge, and there are very stunning waterfalls. Now I've seen pictures of some of these waterfalls, and kind of you see a picture of something, you're like, oh, that's really nice, but you don't really take inventory as to where that actually is in the real world. And then as I'm driving down there, I see these things and I'm like, oh, I'll stop by and check that out. I got to see some of the most astounding waterfalls that I would have never thought to even check. Oftentimes when I would drive because I'm going to go visit family or something along those lines, I'm going to get to point A from point, or point B from point A, and stopping along the way, I don't have time to do that. And then, on this, because my whole purpose is just to drive, I've got to be out on the road for no other reason than to do that. And so, I'm allowed to stop at, these places, and getting to see some of the scenery that's out there has been very rewarding, for sure.
That sounds like a dream job for a
lot
of people.
I have no complaints, for sure.
That is very cool. And on some of these places, you were saying sometimes the geography will introduce.
Oh, for sure.
Challenges. Challenges, exactly. What might be the weirdest one you've come across?
Oh goodness. Probably the weirdest is the really remote areas, middle of Nevada, where I can be in an area of Nevada where there isn't a cellular signal for hours. I mean, I've been so deep into some, bad areas where when I come out, my cell phone has stopped trying to find a signal, and if I don't realize it to reset my phone, I won't have a cellular signal because it's just given up. And that for the first time that I did that, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm in pretty what I would assume decent coverage. I mean, there's towns, I see things, and my phone's still not working. And I realized, well, my phone gave up, and having to know that our devices now know to do that. They don't give up. They constantly look for that connection, so that when they do come back, they've saved all that information, and as soon as they have the ability to send it out, it sends it out. So it someone's never actually lost. They may be lost for a minute or, you know, for a couple of hours while they're out there in the middle of nowhere, but they're still being tracked.
That is very, very cool. Well, man, I can't thank you enough for talking to us, and best of luck. Stay safe.
Oh, yes. Thank you.